If your work involves emailing the same spreadsheet to your colleagues and customers on a regular basis, the Email Spreadsheets add-on can save you a lot of time. The add-on lets you send spreadsheet reports to one or more recipients on a recurring schedule. For instance, you can set up a job that emails the employee attendance sheet to your manager around 5 p.m. on the last Friday of every week. Or you can set up a schedule that emails the sales performance dashboard to your team daily around 9 p.m. Now to get started, just go to this link and install the add-on. I'll also leave a link to download the add-on in the video description as well. Now once the add-on is installed, you'll be required to grant certain permissions because it has to read the spreadsheet data, convert it into different formats, and then send it via Gmail. All your data stays private and none of it is shared, stored, or uploaded anywhere. Now that we have authorized the add-on, let's open a sheet that I need to send to people on a recurring basis. Now this Google Sheet has timesheet related information and I want you to look at it carefully. So if you look at the cell G11, it has the date and the spreadsheet information, the actual spreadsheet information is stored between cells B14 to H23. So this cell G11, it has the date and the actual spreadsheet data, this is contained inside cells B14 to H23. I am telling you this because we will need to refer to this range later in our tutorial. Okay, let's now set up a rule to email this information to our colleagues on a recurring basis. So I'll go to the add-ons menu inside the Google Sheet. Then I'll choose Email Spreadsheets. And then I'll choose Rules. Since we have not created any rules so far, this will open up a 3-step wizard where I can set up the rule. The first section is the Sheet Options Editor where we specify which sheets should be exported. Now this spreadsheet has only 2 sheets and I only want the first sheet to be sent, so I'll just select that. Next we'll choose the file format. Now you can send this spreadsheet as a PDF file, as a Microsoft Excel document, as a CSV file, and then you have the email without attachment option that you can use to simply email a portion of the sheet inside the email body itself without actually attaching the file. So let's choose PDF for this example. When you select PDF as the export format, a host of other options pop up, allowing you to further customize the layout of the exported file. So for instance, you can change the paper size, you can change the page orientation. So for instance, if the sheet is wide, a landscape might be a better option. You can also experiment with reducing the page margins or changing the scale to fit more content on your pages. The cell range option is interesting and it is only available when you have selected PDF as the export format. So here I can specify a sheet range in A1 notation and only the specified range is exported into a PDF file. Now for those of you who have never used the A1 notation before, here's a quick introduction. Now this Google Sheet has the employee wage table, and if you look at the cell that contains this text employee wage overview, you can see that the address of the cell is D21. So essentially D is the column and 21 is the row number. Similarly, the last cell of this table has the address AI34. So AI is the starting column of this merged cell and the row number is 34. So for example, if I only want to include this table in my exported PDF file, what I can do is I can specify this range in A1 notation and the range would be D21:AI34. So the starting cell and the end table and all the group of cells that are between this range are included in the exported file. Let me give you some more examples. If I only wish to include the first column of the sheet in the exported file, I can say A:(A). And 1:2 will refer to all cells that are inside the first 2 rows of the sheet. And if I say D4:D, this will refer to all cells that are in the column D from row 4 onwards. So coming back to our original sheet, now for this example I only wish to export the timesheet table into our PDF file, so I'll put the range as A10:I24. Then you have many advanced options to choose from, like you can show page numbers in the exported file, you can show or hide grid lines. I'll skip them all for this example. So now that we have selected the sheets and specified the various export options, let's see how the exported file would look like. So for that I'll click this preview button and it will open the PDF file in the browser. This looks good. So if you ever change any export options, or if you ever select any different sheet, it's always a good idea to test how your exported PDF would look like before setting up the schedule. Next, we'll expand the email editor section, and here we specify the email recipients, the subject and the body. You can obviously specify multiple email addresses, but they should be separated by a comma. I leave the CC and BCC fields blank. Next is the email subject. Now here you can obviously enter anything in plain text, but you can also use dynamic cell values, again using the A1 notation. So for instance, if I were to include the dynamic value of cell D11 of this sheet in our subject line, I'll write this as timesheet because this is the name of our sheet. Then I'll add an exclamation mark and then I'll add the value D11, which is the address of the cell. Finally, everything needs to be enclosed inside double curly braces, indicating that it is a place marker for a dynamic cell value. Next, we'll specify the sender name because this will help the recipients know where the email is actually coming from. And then finally we switch to the email body field and add some text here. Now again, you can also use dynamic cell values inside the email body as well, but this is special because you can not only insert dynamic cell values, but you can also insert cell ranges. So your email recipients can view the important pieces of a spreadsheet data inside the email itself without even opening the attached files. And one more thing, you can even use HTML tags to format your email. So for instance, if I wish to bold any text, I can simply enclose that text inside the B tag. You can use HTML to embed images or format any kind of text. Okay, so our email template is ready. Now I have a couple of options. I can either schedule this email for sending later, or I can hit the send button to send this email right away. Let's do this. So the email has been sent. I switch to my Gmail and there you have the copy of the email. So you can see that all the dynamic cell addresses in our email body and subject have been substituted with the actual values. And the range has been converted into this beautiful HTML table while preserving all the formatting. This looks good. I'll go back to my sheet and finally we will add the schedule also so that sheet can be delivered automatically every week. First I'll change the start date to tomorrow because I want the schedule to start from tomorrow. I'll also specify the time when this email should go out. Emails are generally spent plus minus 20 minutes around the scheduled time. Now you can send emails on a daily, hourly, weekly, monthly or yearly basis. For this example, I'll choose the weekly option. And I want this email to go out every week on Friday. Now when do I want the schedule to end? If I choose never, the emails will go on every week. I can choose to end this after a certain number of occurrences, or maybe I can specify a date and the emails would stop going out after that particular date. So everything looks good now. Let's hit the save button. And our spreadsheet report has been successfully scheduled. Now later, if you want to edit your schedule, just go to the same menu and then choose rules. And here you'll see a list of all the email reports that are currently scheduled for this spreadsheet. Now you can either edit the report, delete it, or you can click the add button to schedule another report for the same spreadsheet. So that was a quick introduction of the email spreadsheets add-on for Google Sheets. And while you are here, let me introduce you to some of my other popular add-ons that you will love. First is Mail Merge for Gmail. Now this add-on helps you send personalized emails to your Google contacts via Gmail. You should also try Document Studio. It creates beautiful documents from your data in Google Sheets and Google Forms. I'll leave the links to both these add-ons in the video description. Thanks.